Are you tired of being overcharged and forced into paying a monthly subscription for your Mac and Windows software? Well, if you are, currently we're having a 50% off discount on all the latest Mac and Windows software, such as AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Photoshop, Microsoft Office, and much more. Our 50% off discount will be ending soon, so be sure to text us "Need Software" to 323-405-1341. That's 323-405-1341. We aim to please, so expect 24/7 technical support, the latest premium software, instant software links delivered to your email, and PayPal buyer's protection guarantee.
Called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
The irony, the government gave us drugs to sniff and smoke, then incarcerated us when we distribute coke. Public housing where the richest folks wear fancy furs, Joe Namath in the jets with expensive coats. They made a profit off of Reaganomics. When I speak, your favorite artist and change the topic. I'm Huey Newton, revolution, can't wait to start it. You Cam Newton, was a Panther, turned patriotic.
What's good? What's good? We are back up in the heezy. Once again, peace to the family. Make sure you click that like button upon entering the room. Make sure you click that like button upon entering the room. Room. Click that share button. Let motherfuckers know we in here. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Click that notification bell and click all. I know it's a lot of clicking I'm asking for, right? It ain't gonna hurt you. It's just a finger, goddammit. A lot of y'all ain't even getting no damn exercise. You could at least click a finger. What up, family? We got another great one tonight, as always. You know I got to bring you that real hip-hop. It's what I do, motherfucker. That's right. Peace to the gods and earths. Peace, Gaia University. Huey Freeman. What up, DJ Cool Rod? And it goes like. Welcome back to the Godcast. Or when I do it by myself, I like to call it Lord Jamar Live. Welcome back to Lord Jamar Live. Shout out to my regular co-host, Rod Digger, Godfrey. Rod Digger is actually starting a little tour, and it starts today, actually. Hang on. Let me shout out Diggers. What Digger got going on? Wait, did it already start? I'm trying to look at the dates. Oh, yeah. Wait, today is the coach. Okay. Yeah, so it starts today. It starts today. And her first date is in Manchester, New Hampshire, at the Shashkeen. The Shashkeen, I believe that's how you would pronounce it. So today, Rod Digger, if anybody happens to be in Manchester, New Hampshire, go check out Rod Digger. Tomorrow she'll be in Hampton, Connecticut at the Cellar on Treadwell. On the 6th, she'll be in Worcester, Massachusetts at Electric Haze. And in the 7th, she'll be in her home state of New Jersey, in Clifton, New Jersey, out at Dingbats. So once again, the 4th, Manchester, New Hampshire. The 5th, Hamden, Connecticut. The 6th, Worcester, Massachusetts. And the 7th, Clifton, New Jersey. If y'all are in the area, make sure y'all get out there and go see Rod Digger because her show is fire. And, you know, we love her and support her here. Shout out to my brother Godfrey, doing big things. Working on that, writing on that Nick Cannon show. I see you, boy. I see you. And yeah, that's how we do. All right. So we got all of that out the way. Yeah, there's other news that's going on right about now, but we're not even going to touch that shit, you know. Just we're not going to touch that right now, you know. Just let it know. Just let it be known that, you know, Lord Jamar will never have no announcements like that. I'll tell you that. Ever. I don't give a fuck how much money is involved. But, you know, that's a whole next story. Anyway, listen, I want to bring my brother to the show right about now. This is a brother that, you know, coming up, man, pretty much looking up to these brothers, man. As far as the movement they was putting together, just the way they shook up the culture when they came into the game. You know, how they were unapologetically black. Loved it. Did I secretly want to fucking be down with X-Clan? You bet. Did I want to be in Black Watch? You're goddamn right. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna talk about all of that. Yeah, man. This guy, man, I think he's kind of slept on, you know, in the annals of hip hop, man. I feel like we need to hear his name a little more, you know. But that's part of the purpose of the Godcast. I feel like, you know what I mean. We be shining lights on people that sometimes, you know, history would sometimes let fall through the cracks for whatever reasons. You understand? Because they represented something that they don't want to keep perpetuating in the mainstream. So they want us to forget, but we won't allow it to happen. God damn it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome my brother to the Godcast, the grand verbalizer, the one that gives you the funkin' lesson, my brother, Brother Jay. X-Clan.
Peace to the God. Respect.
Hey.
What's up,
Yes, I'm great, bro. How you?
I can't complain, man. I can't complain. Thank you for the great intro, man.
Oh, come on, man. I strive. Yeah, I like what you got on there. I like that Ma'at that you rocking right there.
Thank you, family. Thank you, man.
That's dope. Shout out to my brothers. Hold up. Thank you, Big Nook. He said, keep up the great content, Lord J. I appreciate you, Big Nook. Shout out to my brother at Noble Republic for the Asiatics hoodie. I love it.
That's good. Clean.
He's always hooking a brother up.
Yeah, that's clean.
I hope he got his website up, but check out Noble Republics on IG if not. And yeah, you see the, you know what I mean, Godcast, you know, snapbacks and all that. Y'all know where to go for those. You know, the link is in the description. Go on over to hoodg.com and get you some of that Godcast gear or some of that brand Nubian gear. You know what I mean? That's how we doing that. Is that something that is that one of yours that you're wearing, or that's just some fly shit you just rocking? Just some
Tony B. Conscious makes these out of LA. So I'm trying to add it to my merch line, but I just wanted to give him a holler. But yeah, I definitely want to add these to my merch line. That's something that we're looking forward to doing. You know,
shout
it's
out
a great
to Tony Be Conscious.
No doubt.
So you have a merch line? Tell us about your merch line.
Indeed, man. You know, we bringing back some of the fashions that we had during the Black Watch era. You know, a lot of those shirts, and I mean, we had the Yankees pinstripe Black Watch. We had the black and gold joints for the movement members and stuff like that. So we kind of wanted to bring it back, man. You know, we looking forward this year to, you know, it's our 30th anniversary. So we trying to celebrate and not trying to bring them back to our era, but just bring back that courage, you know, and that commitment to, you know, to freedom, and putting it on your wear, you know, when you move around with it, you know, it's a little different.
30th anniversary. I feel like y'all was out before us. I already had a 30th anniversary for our first album. So what are you talking? 30th anniversary of what?
No, of East Blackwoods. We dropped in 90. So yeah, 1990, 30, 31, those are 30, 31 years.
Yeah, okay. You said 30. Yeah. Okay, you're a little past 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. We came out in 90. But I just feel like y'all was ahead of us. Like I remember watching your videos thinking, damn, you know, we almost on, but I'm not on yet. And they on. But we was right there, like we was not at the y'all were just a step ahead of us, I believe.
No, we in the same generation, man. You know, my brothers was older than me, you know, PX and, you know, Lumumba for years, and, you know, Architect. Those my brothers were older than me. They were at least, you know, 5 to 10 years older than me. So, you know, me and Shaft was the babies of the crew, you know what I'm saying, coming in, and we brought X-Clan to the Black Watch movement, you know. Let's
take it back.
Yes.
You go into the foundations right now. Rest in peace, Lumumba.
Yes.
You know, man, like, how did you? I mean, I like to ask this question of a lot of people, but tell me about becoming a fan of hip hop, and then transcending into being a participant. How did that happen?
Well, it started from the turntables for me. You know what I'm saying?
Same here.
You know, I'm from Flatbush, you know, and I was doing block parties, you know, right off, you know, Clarendon Road. And you know, I was just building up my rapport, just loving the records, just loving to play new stuff that was out. There's a record shop right there on Flatbush and Beverly, you know what I'm saying, right there. And I used to go there and get my little vinyl and spin and, you know, and do my thing. And then, you know, I started hearing cats rhyming and whatnot, and I was writing poetry and whatnot, but I wasn't, you know, I didn't write gutter rap and whatnot. I was just writing about our city. Our city is so interesting, you know what I'm saying, in many different ways and whatnot. So my father kind of, you know, banged me into writing about the realism that was happening in New York. He was a cab driver. He owned his own medallion. So he used to move me around and just show me. Yeah. So he used to show me the city from a different side, like, you know, going down to the Bowery and showing me that, some of the smartest people in the world may be in there and just took a wrong turn. Rather me build on that and the reform of that, you know what I'm saying, than my clothes or the kind of jewelry I'm wearing or a car or shorty I got and whatnot. So before Black Watch, I was on that kind of poetry and whatnot. You know, I went through my little amateur rap thing and my talent show and all of this other thing. You know, we all go through it. But you know, but I nailed on what I wanted to do as far as just being a different type of artist. And so when I was introduced to Lumumba, who was starting Black Watch in Brooklyn, it was perfect for me to earn my stripes as a security soldier and then be able to introduce something to them that they didn't have. They didn't have people there that were, you know, that were really putting that message forward. They were positive, but they weren't, you know, they weren't soaked in it and living in it. So training and being able to, you know, to do that at the same time, it was heaven, brother. So, you know, the rest was history. You know, all of that material just spilled like I was possessed. And I was home, you know, and that's what people bear witness to.
So wait a minute. So when did you start studying? Like, when did you come into the knowledge of yourself? You know, because you're saying you're speaking high science shit that a lot of mother, you know, like some of the shit you're speaking in X-Clan, I gotta be honest, like a lot of that shit was going over to my head till later. Like I didn't necessarily know what the fucking ibis was when you were saying it at that time. You know what I mean? Now right. I know about an ibis and all of that. You see what I'm saying? Even though I was steeped in 5% knowledge, but that doesn't mean I know all of this Egyptian knowledge. And that was a whole next just chamber that y'all brought us into. And
right.
You know, but it still was kind of parallel to what we would talk about. So it was just like, oh man, I love these dudes. So how did you get into, like, did Black Watch bring you into that, or did you always already have some of that ammunition coming in?
Yeah, my family is in the background of knowledge and the craft. You know, we coming from the South, a lot of knowledge was coming through. You know, my elders being part of Masonic orders, and you know, we grow up in this, you know, where they give us shards of knowledge. They can't give you what they study unless you're in the house. But, you know, they give you shards of things. And as a youngster, you pay attention. So, you know, just even going to Sunday school, you know, I went to Concord Baptist across from Boys High in Bed-Stuy. And one day I'm looking at the ceiling and I'm seeing all these symbols. And I started writing down the symbols and start breaking them down, you know what I'm saying? Just off simple basics, you know, and then my questions start to be like, you know, why we study 9 planets in school and then just heaven and earth in church, you know, and then starting to, you know, to start opening up research. You know, our city is rich with research and we waste a lot of time. You know, we ride the trains and move around in bullshit, but you know, when you want to know something, there's many places that you can go. There's a lot of people who would give knowledge if you have patience enough to sit down. So I started moving around different areas in the city and, you know, I would hear about, you know, Sonny Carson, you know, they were more so Black nationalism, which I thought was very interesting because studying all of these cosmic sciences and all these other things and you're not paying attention to the soil you live on, it's kind of backwards. You know what I'm saying? We're studying millions of years ago and we don't even know what's happening, you know, in our current. So it kind of paced me on what I was studying and whatnot. So back to the knowledge itself, you know, through high school, you know, we always go through somebody handing us the book of knowledge or something. And, you know, the little pamphlets that used to come into and, you know, even when York and them had their thing in Brownsville, you know, he had the little pamphlets, he was having the tablets and the pamphlets, you know,
that's why we called ourselves Nubian, brother, because of Brother York.
Correct, brother. Correct.
He's the one that brought that language into the lexicon where we wasn't necessarily calling ourselves Nubian. And after reading some of his pamphlets, that Nubian really stuck to me. I was like, I could trick these motherfuckers into, you know, because African had a negative connotation to it with a lot of people. But if you can almost trick them into calling themselves African by Nubian, you see, that was You know what I
Yes.
mean? I thought that was a thing. And yeah,
Exactly.
Dr. York. Shout out to Dr. York.
Shout out to Dr. York, man, because it was a different thing for. I loved him because he was bold enough to do what he was doing on that side of Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? One, for the street side, but then he was challenging a lot of the Williamsburg, population over there, with something that was very unapologetically African. The way he was set up was different. You know what I'm saying? It was inspirational, dog. So, that's what I'm saying. In New York, there's pockets of knowledge like that all over. There's Dr. Sabi, he was over by Atlantic Avenue. You know what I'm saying? So, you move around, you learn different things, and then you start putting shit together. And, and that's part of the journey of knowledge itself. It's not like you sit down in front of Yoda and he's reading a book to you and shit. You gotta be a traveler. That's part of what, I was kicking in East Blackwoods. You know what I'm saying? We look into the East, we traveling dimensionally Blackwoods, you know what I'm saying? To fill out where this African science is really from. You know what I'm saying? Just rewriting history. You know what I'm saying? If it was given to us wrong, I've been studying since 5th grade. My teacher, Mr. Chang, came in a Lutheran school teaching Black history. The first teacher ever, right there off Newkirk and 28th, right there in Flatbush by Foster Park, where I play ball at. All right. He came into a Lutheran school. Now, this is like a divine intervention because, I would never think to learn Black history in a Lutheran school, private school. They teaching you, uniform and, singing somebody else's culture and shit like that, man. We didn't have anything that related to Black, and we in a Black neighborhood. We in Flatbush, Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So for him to come in, I kept all of those books and I kept reading, I kept studying more. So I started asking different questions in different places and forums. And then when adults see you asking questions, like you said, like keywords, IBIS, and, you're trying to figure out what it is, you start turning Thoth into Tahuti, and, you start really, digging in a little different because you start talking to people and the conversation opens up. So by the time I got to Black Watch, I was very interested in more knowledge, and there were elders from different houses. You know what I'm saying? There were brothers from the nation. There were brothers from Sunni Muslim. There was Nuwabi, not Nuwabian at that time, but I don't know what York's thing was called, Islamic Mission, I think it was probably back then, or the Tabernacle or something. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just different brothers from different walks of life always circulated Sonny Carson. So, coming there, I got to kind of slow down and build with each one of them one-on-one, from the martial arts to artillery training, whatever it was a wonderful place. So, when it was my time to do music, brother, from what I was doing with my poetry and my travels just as a youth, and then with the elders, I had no choice but to sound like what I came as. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to write about doing a new dance or, or whatever the hell was going on in rap. It's always been a corny strain in hip hop, man. It just, it's never changed to me. You know what I'm saying? But, there has to be the balance, like you said earlier, like there have to be portals that kind of open the doors for the other side of, it shouldn't even be sided, bro. You know what I'm saying? It should all be expression, but they don't let people with balance, more balanced content that's not disrespecting your family. You know what I'm saying? And cursing you out every 4 bars. You know what I'm saying? There has to be some kind of, mental peace in the craft, man. And, give thanks to your show for opening, doors for artists like myself to speak their piece, man.
Where does the Brother J delivery come from? Because you don't rhyme in a necessarily a traditional fashion, like as far as how you pronounce your words and all of that. Your diction was very clear. Very, first of all, I was telling you, probably my favorite X-Clan record, and not just X-Clan record. This might be one of my favorite records, period, is fucking Verbal Milk. Okay?
Yes,
yuck.
sir.
Brother Jay says yuck. Okay. From the production on that song to just the way it starts. Yes, blue. Like, hold up. Let's go right. Just stop right there. The way you say blue, and thank you, Jamel Shabazz. If I didn't say so, Jamel Shabazz gave a donation. He said, "Peace, both of you and your groups helped enlighten me during my teenage years, and I appreciate seeing you. Both were sincere."
Blessings.
I appreciate seeing that we were sincere, but thank you, Jamel. But yes, blue. Come on to gold. I'm going backwards to the east. Tweedledee, Tweedledum. Like there was this texture and like conscious like stretching of the word and like you know what I mean? Like and saying it very crisply. But still cool with this fucking hip hop swag. Like, where did that come from? That style? Because that was kind of new to me. Like, that was new.
All right, so give thanks. That preparation of how I deliver was trained in when I used to do school plays. You know what I'm saying? School plays, you have to enunciate, solid. So, because you're not mic'd. You know what I'm saying?
And they take you to project to the back of the room and all of that type of shit.
So I did all plays in school. If it be the Christmas thing, I don't care what the theme was. I always participated in those get downs. And it wasn't like, I wanted people to clap for me or anything. I just like memorizing the script and delivering the timing of that. You know what I'm saying? I like doing my part. You know what I'm saying? So learning that, I probably would have been a preacher in a church or something. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Not to be with the just necessarily churchianity or anything, but I would have been some kind of speaker and orator of that level. So with the music thing, I had to please both my elder audience, because remember, coming into the movement, I got a whole different audience. It's not like rap dudes just waiting for my stoop rap. It's dudes that want to, listen to this rap thing and understand it, because my elders didn't like hip hop, dog. You know what I'm saying? Sonny Carson, he didn't believe in Lumumba when he bought the Black Watch the first time. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Raise the Flag and Heed the Word was big for all of us in the movement, because it brought their understanding to what we wanted to do. It wasn't like, somebody do a demo, like a mixtape level demo, just rapping over a loop. It was produced, it was solid, and then it had a label attached. We doing stuff at Boys and Girls High at the African Festival now. It's big crowds. Because Ralph and them is playing our shit, you know what I'm saying, rotating in the city. So back to the, to the delivery. If that delivery wasn't clear and I'm just rapping, on some battle rap shit, the elders wouldn't have fucked with me, my lord. You know what I'm saying? Just right. Being 100. So I had to give it a little bit of, because in rap, you want your name to be respected. So you don't want to be elementary. You know what I'm saying? You want to show the looseness, like you said, with Verbal Milk. It was like, almost like it was coming off my dome. You know what I'm saying? But I'm injecting little pockets of knowledge here and there. And that's the funkin' lesson. That's the style that I want to impress upon folks. So, they seeing the clarity, the content, and then just matching with the track. When I made that beat in my basement, at first it was just a honeybee sample by itself. But now that we signed, we not on, we're not on demo status no more. We're not just busting in the basement, just rocking anymore. So the beat had to be bigger. So I had to double the drums up. You know what I'm saying? And then
you made that beat?
I produced that album, my lord. Yeah, that was my first time in the lab outside of my turntables and my little 8-second sampler. I didn't even have the Akai joint yet. The little 950. We had to go to INS for all of the, the outboard gear and all that shit.
So I always thought that it was like Sugar Shaft and these other brothers that were behind the music side of X Clan. So you're telling me you did all of this?
Me and Shaft in my basement in Flatbush did that project, bro. My architect was more like a co-manager. Him and Lumumba was our manager, dog. He wasn't a part of the group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And nor was Architect. Architect brought me to meet Lumumba. I met Lumumba at the Milky Way spot. And was it 14th Street, Manhattan, the Milky Way?
Right, yeah, I remember that spot. Yeah.
I met him there with when Cash Money was getting down with Marvelous. And Scratch was performing with the twins that used to hype with Redman. Yeah. So I met him at that club, and there was no crowns, no nothing. We both had the same Yankee hat on, and he was talking about this movement where he had, the elders' kids coming to get down with him, and they were doing security and stuff. So
now, did you know that this was Sonny Carson's son? Did you know that?
I didn't understand the impact of that. You know what I'm saying?
Who Sonny Carson was, and for those that might not know, why don't you tell the people a little bit about Sonny Carson?
Well, Sonny Carson is a black nationalist who basically opened the door for a lot of movements like the Committee to Honor Black Heroes, December 12th movement. He spoke up for a lot of things that we take for granted in Brooklyn, like ownership. You know what I'm saying? Steadily stressing brothers to own, where people were coming into from other lands and taking us and serving us a product, feeding us to ourselves, basically. You know what I'm saying? While we get poorer and other ethnicities were getting richer, he stood up for getting us empowered. So, just one of the few things that he's been involved with. So he was influencing Lumumba to take a lot of the themes that they were on, like Close the Crack House, for instance. That was a elders, movement, because they were watching the generations go back into the cocaine that killed their generation. All right. So he was passing on themes of knowledge to PX, and then we would take it and process it into lyrics and ways to put it into this music without being preachy. You know what I'm saying? And that's back to the style thing that you're saying. If you take a theme like that, you can't battle rap that out. You know what I'm saying? You got to produce that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I knew my responsibility. I'm not going to put PX, Lumumba, and them into what it takes to chisel that. When an artist takes that time to compose, that's a sacred space, and he's not an MC type of dude. Right. You know what I'm saying? At all. He shouldn't even been doing those albums. You know what I'm saying? Just being 100.
But he to me kind of represented what like Flavor Flav represented to Public Enemy, sonic wise. Not necessarily like that he was like, wild like a Flavor Flav, but
yeah.
You got Chuck, that's the real rapper, and then you got this personality that inserts himself at times on the record. You know what I mean? Says and then pulls out. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that, because I didn't want him to be a Flavor Flav, dog. I said, dog,
no one took him like that because he was more serious than Flav.
Correct. And he started getting, the game. I call it the bug when the game gets to you. Like, it's like almost like a parasite that kind of swells the ego up in a strange place. You know what I'm saying? So now we getting more popular, and people like the signature of your voice. You say, well, damn, I should do an album. That's not why you here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that kind of bothered me about the game, because the game came to us. It wasn't like we was chasing down, trying to do whatever. Our label knew that we were shaking up the streets. You see us on Daily News with, with Sonny Carson doing some shit in the streets. We wasn't first seen for rapping and shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. Our movement was out there first, So, so my whole thing with the movement and the music thing, it just clashed in a strange fashion, God body, and it just blew the God's head up to where he thought he was a rapper. And I was already I was writing those pieces for him. Right. You know what I'm saying? To show him I need to break my voice up, because you hear one voice all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you got to break it up. So I gave parts to Architect that he was supposed to do. Like Tribal Jam was supposed to be Architect in the beginning. That wasn't PX. I wrote that for Architect. And then PX came in and said, you don't need to even speak. You know what I'm saying? He had always had a problem with Architect doing things. And I thought Architect had a great voice. You know what I'm saying? But he was not one to ruffle the feathers of the process. It didn't matter nowhere which way to him. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was selfish that Architect was not on it. And it wasn't like we had to listen to PX. PX was our spokesman. It wasn't like he was our master or some shit. You know what I'm saying? He was our spokesman. You know what I'm saying? And you're the son of somebody that we respect. So there's kind of a protocol of respect for someone who founded something that brought us all together. So, when his ego was growing, we didn't see it like that, but it became like that. And it became like, why the brother can't get on here and just, say his piece? Because now he's getting the agenda of, I need to do an album. I need to do my own thing. So it's not X-Clan bringing in the song, because they wouldn't even know what song is next. I go home and write and make the beat at the crib and show up the next day like, yo, this is Earthbound. Yo, this is Funkin' Lesson. And this is such and such. And the only time that they really interjected, now this is where Architect was key. He brought 45 King to do Heed the Word. All right. He did the beat for that. And that beat was solid. I've never had to remix that beat. I've remixed my beats over the years for shows and shit, but I've never had to touch Heed the Word. And that showed me that next tier of production, like get off the doubling and tripling samples and start getting into, into bigger drum shit. The technology wasn't where I wanted it to be, my lord. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was primitive to what we're dealing with now. I wanted what we're dealing now. I wanted big ass drum sounds, and I was stealing from African sounds. Like you notice Tribal Jam, they have talking drums in that sample that I use for that, and that creates a different kind of hum as far as bass is concerned. I don't have to boom boom boom. This is going do 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 do, and that's creating a different hum. This is why our music sound different. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's the shit that you sample. It's the places of Knee Deep when I did Funkin' Lesson. You know what I'm saying? The things that I was snatching from that record. That's a 15-minute record damn near. You know what I'm saying? And there's pockets. And the way that you catch things as a DJ and you put them together, it's the same way we put together lyrics. So I was basically showing that. So, you all that to say, you can't go on there and be sounding like a mumble rapper or somebody trying to be like a cannabis battle rap type shit. You gotta flow like the niggas used to sample from, a little bit of their shit and then a little bit of the new shit. And that's where your unique signature comes into play, my lord. That unique collage of funk and technique. So, I'm honored that you recognize that, body.
No, I'm definitely a hip hop scientist, bro. Like I can look at things and kind of dissect it. Now, when I kind of look at your style and I'm hearing what you're saying, and you say you had to kind of appease the elders, what I'm hearing now in your style?
Yeah,
like a new Gary Bird.
That's
Huh?
deep.
Because
deep.
Gary Bird is somebody that they fucked with. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
He was doing
Yes.
a form of rap back then, and the way that Gary Bird would get on the mic and be very, you know what I mean, the way of blackness, and he would
Yes.
talk very clearly. You know,
Yes.
it kind of
Spoken word style. Spoken word style. He had like a
and it almost reminds me of a yes, yes, blue. Come on, gold on the Black Experience. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. And you got to do that without sounding square.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. You got to,
square. And that's why I say you made it like the new Gary Bird, where you made it for the hip hop generation, but by the time it got to our generation, Gary Bird was kind of corny the way he was delivering it. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of like just take a little bit flavor of that, but then yes, y'all. You know what I mean? Like it's that pattern, but then it's like it's genius on so many levels that motherfuckers don't even understand. Like I'm telling you, it was. Let me hang on. Yeah, you need a round of applause. It was fucking genius, man.
Yeah, brother. Respect, man.
Let's also talk about real quick, because I know it's known that you went to high school with a lot of people that end up being famous hip hop artists. Q-Tip, you know, brothers in De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, and all of that. So what school was that? Tell me about that. And also tell me how you were able to end up keeping your own identity, where you didn't later on get pulled into the whole native tongue thing like everybody else that went to that school did. No offense to that, but I'm just saying.
That's deep. All right, so let's start with the high school thing. Murray Bertram. High school right off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Rocking on.
Yeah, so you familiar with over there. So
first of all, I loved when on Funky Sensation when they shouted out all the fucking high schools. Do you know how bad you wanted to be going to one of those schools that they were shouting out on Jazz Sensation? Murray Bertram, rocking on. Norman Thomas, rocking on. What? Like, come on, man. Bro. And I have no cool. chance because I'm going to school in Westchester. So none of my schools got shouted out. I'm mad as
Yo, B, I wanted to go to that school so bad, dog. It was a school for business careers. And I just wanted to get out of Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to explore Manhattan because it wasn't, you know, a regular thing as a teenager just to be bouncing all around and shit. But at least for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to get out of the city and be going to this business career school, it was a pyramid school on that. All right. On the thing, it's a pyramid, it's real deep. So Africa. Africa, Mike G, Q-Tip, Ali. I don't know if Jerobi went there, but they was always up at our school. But you know, the key thing about our school was our talent show. All right. They were like the Apollo. All right. Now, mind you, Bertram is like 10-1 females to males. So you in there, you feel like you on like Amazon Island or something, dog. It was insane because women, you know, was after that business, you know, and that business training at that time. This is where you learning how to type and do the data entry and all of that shit. So, you know, it was different. So funny that our talent show came and Biz came to our talent show one time. You know what I'm saying? That this is how popular our shit was because it was our auditorium was crazy, bro. It was crazy. So our shows was crazy. Now Mike G uncle is Red Alert. All right. So Red would give them instrumentals that wasn't out yet. All right. So if the Bridges Over was out and nobody had the record yet, guess who had the instrumental?
Right.
Okay. Mike G would have it. So those dudes can rock straight off the radio press shit, you know, exclusive shit that they wanted to at these shows. All right. So that was crazy. So Q-Tip had his group. That's when I met Fife. And Jerobi was beatboxing. Okay. And then I was beatboxing. I wasn't even rhyming. For the first shows that we did, I was just beatboxing. And they had like this contest to win to go see Run DMC at the Apollo. This was Peter Piper was dropping. So I won the first place with Mighty Matt, and then third place with Africa and Mike. We was called the Bug Out Crew at that time. There was no Jungle Brothers. It was a Bug Out Crew. And then Africa was always like a wild nigga just thinking crazy shit to do. Like he mooned the crowd and shit like that. I hated shit like that. I didn't like gimmick shit with the rap. This is when I started realizing that I wanted something more serious for my stage shit, you know, because I didn't want to be, like you said, you know, Native Tongue was like a more playful side of the black, you know, it wasn't hippie or anything. I don't consider De La Soul like hippies and shit. I consider them beat technicians and shit, you know, like sample masters and shit, you know, and Africa was like that at first as well, but he liked the entertainment side of the game. Even back in high school, to me, he liked the, you know, what's going to make them remember us, you know what I'm saying the rhyme is going to make them remember you, you know what I'm saying? That's why I stood firm on that. So I broke off from them and I got with this dude named Mike King, who was Spice, and he had a partner named Sugar. It was Sugar and Spice, and they had, remember how W Fresh DJs was, right? With the two DJs, they were two DJs to rock parties. Yeah, so they used to rock parties like that. So it was Sugar and Spice. So I brought them back to the fucking talent show with my new shit, my rap shit now. And then that's when I started getting my name on for rhyming, because I was just beatboxing for everybody, because you couldn't bring your wheels to school. So I had a deep voice and I could put bass, and I know what fits right under MCs as a DJ. So I was always seeing the battles. Bro, when A-Song came to our school, God bless ODB, you know, as they call him. But when A-Song came to the school, he was just sitting there, who's the best? And niggas would line up and he would just destroy them. He used to hit Q-Tip in the head and fucking Africa and them. That dude was, because he was speaking the knowledge. And then, you know, and then I seen somebody take that book of knowledge and was spitting it like that. They didn't have no vocabulary to deal with that God. So guess who was influenced by that? Okay. Guess who was influenced by that? So I'm seeing that the vocabulary, because
before he even comes out though as Old Dirty.
Correct. Because I didn't like that Old Dirty shit when it happened, bro. Because I knew him as A-Son the God. You know what I'm saying? I know him from the little circles that I used to keep, just brothers of knowledge, you know, passing on different pamphlets of shit to study and so on. And you hear about the God, he was busting, man. It wasn't no goofy shit about his style.
If you ever built with fucking with A-Son, man, he was super sharp, bro.
Yeah,
like
bro.
He wasn't the whole funny trickster the way they try to portray him to be. Like he was, and they nah, the God was sharp.
The God was sharp,
and
bro.
God knew his lessons, boy.
So yes, my lord. So I didn't like that Old Dirty shit, because I felt like, you know, when you watch the Kung Fu movie, they always misinterpret the drunken style, like it's goofy and shit. Even though it's you know, as knowing martial arts now, I see, you know, things I didn't see as a kid, but I just thought it was goofy way to present such a sharp MC. That dog, he was toasting niggas. You know what I'm saying? With the math and bringing the lessons and the fucking shit. And I was like, yo, dog. And I'm beatboxing for these niggas and watching niggas just evaporate. And I'm like, yo, that nigga brought the lessons into the fucking lyrics and shit. And niggas couldn't even hold no fucking water, dog. I see some shit. And then after that, to be moved to the movement, dog, and the way I was writing, then I was like, I know exactly what the fuck I want to do, dog. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no thing, because cats around my way was like that. You know, the God Body MCs, even Kane. I remind cats, Kane was a 5% MC when he came out, dog. It was he was the contest to rock him. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Those are God body MCs.
Yep.
If I Born Click had came out before Wu-Tang, that would have been a whole different situation too. If they were, real shit. Yeah, it would have been different. You know what I'm saying? If the God MCs had kind of stepped up, if Sir Ibu had blew up, you know what I'm saying?
Ibu was my guy. Jizer, let's walk these dogs. Yo, I used to love. As a matter of fact, I got to get Sir Ibu on the show because that's another one y'all don't even understand.
Come on, man. You know, it would have been a different shit, man. Wu could have ushered in a whole other level of God MCs, man. But you know, I don't mash on anybody's success, man, because it requires adjustments. You know, it's not what we see and think it's gonna be. You know, you got to make adjustments. But you know, that whole movement of the gods, man. When I saw a song become the Old Dirty, I'm like, yo, that nigga who was crushing motherfuckers, he's one of the coolest MCs I've seen out here in this city, man. And we got a lot of them in New York, dog. I wasn't with the gimmick of it all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, why don't you just come out and destroy motherfuckers, man, and just, you know, claim the game, man, for the gods, man. That's how I felt, because I was young in the knowledge like that. You know what I'm saying? These are my little days of connecting all the little sciences together and shit. And I see somebody put the math and the lyrics. I'm like, you know, why they not number one? So, you know, my thing was, I didn't want to be included in music like that. I wanted to be a messenger for my movement. I didn't want to be included in who's the best five and all this other shit. I didn't want that. I wanted to be like, this is for the people who gather at our rallies. These are for the people, man, that come out in the think tanks. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the real builders and shit, both men and women, you know what I'm saying, who come out, and the ones who can bring their seed. So I didn't want it to be too much German in my lyrics and, you know, talking shit and fuck and all this other thing. I didn't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? I think the deepest I went was FTP, you know what I'm saying? But it was in theme with what's happening. You know what I'm saying? With the way I was feeling when we was at that Yusef rally and whatnot. So, you know, it came off a little different and whatnot. But, you know, I mean, bro, I've seen so much activity in New York with the lyrics. I hate going home and seeing it so trapped out and so one-dimensional now. You know what I'm saying? You used to be able to bounce around that city, man, and experience so many different flavors of music, man. And, you know, and that's the one thing that God talent does. It's universal. You know what I'm saying? You know, God body MCs would have started becoming singers and all kind of instruments and everything, because the music is not enough to hold that content that we have. They didn't even give that an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I saw how Pharoah Marsh was evolving and becoming into singing. I spoke about this on another show. And I said, yo, that's how the gods would have been, because we cramping all of this math into 16 bars, dog. That's a lot. It takes a lot, you know, to just say, you know, what would I want to put into these lines to obey whatever the medium of music is doing. So one day that's going to evolve and start to become another kind of voice or an instrument or something. But they never even, you know, gave us a chance to achieve our own market, dog. It's like we got to be alien coming to a music that we helped build. That's crazy, dog. It's kind of insulting to a degree, man, you know? Real shit.
What made you fuck with the funk like that? First of all, funkin' lesson. Let me just say that's something that I use to this day. You know, if you come around and, you know, your armpits is kind of strong or whatever, you're giving a funkin' lesson. Ooh, motherfucker giving a funkin' lesson right now. You're trying to teach the funk, aren't you? That's what we call a funkin' lesson.
That's right, Godbody. That's right. That's right.
You did fuck with the funk.
Yes.
You know, that George Clinton, but you did it in a way that was not how the Cali niggas was doing it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was very unique. It was very X-Clan. Like, tell me about that part of it.
All right. So as a producer, I had to find the instruments that were beyond my way of capturing beats. So for instance, when I said Verbal Milk was originally just that one sample, boom, 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 boom. And then now when I go into the track, I'm trying to compensate for everything that's not there. So remember now, we got to be careful so I'm not overperforming and sounding like Gary Bird. All right. So the beats and shit that I pick have to be able to carry my bass, because I'm a young man with a deeper voice. All right. So it has to be something that's boom, boom. You know, like how more bounces, boom, 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 boom. There's like 4 or 5 different kicks where just a hip hop shit is going boom, boom, cat, cat, boom, cat, boom, 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 cat, cat. But more bounces going boom, 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 boom. Now I can skip out and do something real different lyric wise because I'm not overcompensating for shit that's not there in the beat. All right. So funk has that kind of instrument level. All right. Even with knee deep. Dun, 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 dun. I hear probably like 6, 7 pockets that I can hit different syllables on when I'm just hearing that little piece right there. All right. That's the way that I'm hearing this thing. So I'm noticing that funk has that instrument level that I like so much. And I didn't know how to play it. To play that is an art. To know how to play that moog and all those things, you know, that I've seen later in my game, you know, how it's really done. That's a serious craft, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it felt good to me. Strong break beats and funk is what I wanted X-Clan's signature to be. I wasn't into no R&B joints or any of that kind of thing. I think the deepest R&B that I've touched is probably Barry White. You know what I'm saying? But everything else was like crafted breaks and chop funk, the way that I used to, you know, hit that flashlight scratch and make it sound different. They didn't even know where I got that from. But as a DJ, I know how to chop shit differently. You know what I'm saying? So all that to answer your question, that funk comforted me to where I didn't have to do too much. It let me write more. It let me find more pockets because of the way it shifts and it moves and the way the bass is just playful. It's different. It's a different kind of music. It has its own audience too, you know?
Let's real quick, because I see a lot of people in the comments asking. Let's talk about my wife in my head at the time, Lynn Q. Let's talk about Almighty Isis. Let's
remember that, right?
Let's
morning and shit. That's right. That's right.
This woman that I was, first of all, she looked like, man.
Yeah.
You can't be no bullshit with her. Like oh man, I was like, man, I would have to give up broads and all of that, like, to be with her. You know what I mean? Like, I would have to be real serious too. Like, yeah. But damn, yeah, I can't front. I was in lightweight love with Lin Q.
Everybody love my sister, man.
Like, yo, man. Oh man. Like,
everybody loves sis, man. Yeah, man. I mean,
how did she come into the fold? How did, you know what I mean?
Well, when we started recruiting, after we had got the crowns and everything set up in the movement and whatnot, recruitment was all the time. I mean, you know, PX had a vision for this, you know, Black nationalism and hip hop coming together. And now that the clan was picking up energy and, you know, we know what we were doing with music, it was time to find what kind of sisters. Now, before Lynn was Queen Mother Rage.
Yes. Queen Mother Rage.
Right. Queen Mother Rage.
They shouted her out in the chat too.
Yeah.
This. My people
Yeah.
here. Look, there they go. They shouted out right there.
That's
Mhm.
blessed. Yeah, and her styles were a little bit darker. So if to go to a comic book sense, it would be like the Raven of the Teen Titans at the time. You know what I'm saying? She was like the Dark Powers. And then Lynn was more like the Starfire. You know what I'm saying? She was more, fiery in her approach and lyrics. Rage was more like a Bahamadia, more scientific, poetry on her shit. But Lynn was more output, you know what I'm saying? Similar to what Light was, you know what I'm saying? So she was into club music at that time. That's why a lot of joints on her project were house joints or like up tempo shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was Architect and them producing that project. I wanted to take Lynn somewhere else. If they let me do her shit, she would have had like a Clan type of production on her shit.
And that's why I was probably confused and was like, what the fuck? Like you know what I mean? Like
I would have did something different with Lynn. And even with Rage, because I could have rocked some Portishead style shit with Rage. You know what I'm saying? Like, some other shit, and then use Traydanya, who was the sister before Rage. Traydanya was one of the founding mothers of Black Watch, but she was a vocalist. She went on to do stuff with Brand New Heavies, I think, for a time frame. But Traydanya, and I think all of them working together in the lab would have been dope. You know what I'm saying? I just think it was bad management to kind of separate everybody. Like, this is your project. You figure it out, write your bars. We should have been doing like Death Row.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah. Everybody come together and put their heads together. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
that's
bro.
What I thought it was going to be. I would be very confused sometimes when the continuity wouldn't be the same amongst, certain factions and shit like that. Like.
Yeah, bro. Bro, they treat me like Zack Snyder, bro. Like, and they was HBO. There was like too dark, too gritty. I'm like, yo, me and Rage rock Freddy's Dead. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, murdered it. PX hid the reel. Hid the reel because he wasn't on it. And I was like, yo, dog, this is where we started clashing with that music shit. Like, yo, man, what's up, man? It's like you skip over the production project where the label wants to extend more shit, and then you put yourself on an album like like you a star, man. Like, yo, dog, you the ringleader. You know what I'm saying? You the dude saying, yo, lions and tigers and bears, come on and come in. You know what I'm saying? Vainglorious, all of that. That's what the agreement was. You know what I'm saying? Given a little bit of the poetry that we have in Black, given that element on the music, how does that become now a whole project? And we got like 6-7 groups that we can put out and just stomp right now, man. You know what I'm saying? We can start learning this equipment, stop renting studio time and build our own shit. So this is where we started to fight. And then, in my mind, we don't have no time to be fighting, dog. We here as a movement. Why the hell are we in here arguing like, Quincy Jones and, and whoever else was in the lab with him? Why are we doing all that? That's not what the fuck we did this for. This was like a bullhorn for what the fuck we do. Now we in the lab trying to figure out what beat goes underneath the founder of the movement, dog. Come on, man. I build on this in the documentary. I want people to know, how real it is. We're a family, you know what I'm saying? And then, when shit blows up and, shit gets a little bit open, sometimes people lose their head, no matter what kind of thought system you practice or religion or whatever the fuck it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge itself is the only religion you're supposed to be practicing, really. You know what I'm saying? And when you lose yourself, bring yourself back to a center, my nigga. And, and that's why I broke X-Clan up, because, we wasn't living the fiber of what brought us together. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be for the movement. You know what I'm saying? That made all of this finding some breaks. That's why I wasn't tripping about being a producer of the year and getting the beat machines and all that shit. I was like, yo, I get in the lab, I find some breaks that I could fuck up, man, have the engineer tweak it up, and I'm good, dog. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, I was just playing, you know, with cats, man. You know, shit that we really wanted to do. Like I said, the technology wasn't there for it. You know, that I needed different drum sounds. I hated those drum sounds and drum kits, the Dr. Rhythm and all that shit, all them robotic, mechanical sounds and shit. I hated that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up off breaks. When I go to a block party and grab the mic, my DJ was the best. So we was going and destroying houses, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just moving around, getting our dibs. And I brought that to the movement humbly, you know, in a humble status. I don't want that to be challenged where I'm arguing with niggas about, you know, crazy shit, because on top of it, we got movement problems because the movement is growing now. You know, we got at least 100, 200 people every city that we touch to manage. And nobody expected that, dog. You know what I'm saying? We thinking we get a, you know, little quiet little moment here and there to hold it down and, you know, to bring folks when we come and do our little functions and shit, bro. But that became
everybody want to get
down. Huh? Everybody.
Everybody wanted to get down.
Everybody, son.
So you know, Black Watch.
Yeah, bro. So when they saw the sisters in the movement, you know, because you got to put the sisters forward, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show that there's motherhood here. This is not no macho gang, you know, bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
this is
why the Cadillac was pink.
Well, that was really a concept that PX had for a time machine. Originally, it was called Mer Ages Has Been. I mentioned that on Ways of the Scale. But the caddy, the 5 and the 9, you know what I'm saying? The power refinement in the born, and the pimp side of the caddy itself, the pimping as far as the motivation and not the street value and sense. You know, the pink caddy would stand out better as a like a mascot, so to speak, of what was happening. Like a, you know, it didn't look deep on the shit. It was up to me. That shit would have been some kind of black truck or army shit or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, when you do groups, you try to see other people's vision and you don't trip. You know, I didn't want to own X Clan. That was a group that I invited PX and Architect to join us to be creative. You know what I'm saying? To make it mature. So when he said the thing about the time machine, like how Back to the Future was, and he said, yo, a caddy would be dope, man. He said, make it pink. You know what I'm saying? And just throw cats off, because we're not challenged about our masculine side. You know what I'm saying? It's not, who gonna fuck with us? You know, the army, the warriors. If the car was green, blue, whatever it is. That's why I said, respect my black, how the hell you diss pink? You know what I'm saying? I don't have no challenge about, I'm a man. I'm trying to encourage young men to be men and women to be women so we can carry the key of life. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no trip about no color. Now you see everybody got candy paint and all kind of shit. Back then that shit wasn't popular like that, but there was an era that, yo, if one of the brothers had some paper and was riding down in a baby blue caddy or whatever it was, whatever color he deemed it to be, that was the chariot, period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? So it never was a trip to me. You know what I'm saying? They added on, and then for years later, when people see that car, they instantly think X-Plan. Anyway, pink caddy. And you think about it, Vainglorious. It kind of brought a levity to, you know, a comfortable levity to what we were doing, because I got a hard voice and hard content that I'm kicking. It needed that relax. The same way that Flav relaxes it with Chuck. Chuck is a very direct, you know, vocalist, very powerful vocalist. So when Flav comes in, yeah, boy, you know, such and such and such, it brings a balance. You know what I'm saying, to what's happening. And PX always brought that balance to me. You know, Lin Q's presence brought a balance to us, not looking like, you know, mean Black Panther dudes and shit with crowns on and shit. You know, Mother Rage, you know, the womanhood. I'm seeing we have many sisters in our move, bro. You know what I'm saying? We have many sisters in our move, and we wanted to make sure that they see the balance, because usually with rap and all this other shit is just always dudes and dudes. And this was my argument with PX was like, yo, let Lynn come down and get into the ciphers with the guards that we build with. Let's loosen it up. And she wanted to do that style. If you see, she went and did that shit with Venom. She wanted that. You know what I'm saying? She wanted that raw grain. And, you know, PX was trying to spoil her with what he found her as. Like, yo, do that same house thing, but do it here.
Right.
And I'm saying, no, give us some raw breaks.
Some X-Clan shit. She's here with X-Clan. Do some X-Clan shit.
Yeah, bro. That was an argument early way back.
Really fucking... Like, that's back when I probably, if y'all would have gave me a good album, I probably would have listened to her album. And I don't listen to females' albums like that. But back then,
back then,
I probably would have. If it was good. If it had some sort of appeal to me, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I would have banged Lynn's album out. I would have banged her shit out, bro, and Queen Mother as well. I told you I had that Freddie's. If me and her had dropped that Freddie's Dead, that would have been like an early version of what like Jay-Z and Foxy did for conscious niggas. You understand me?
Right.
That record was hard. If she didn't retire from lyricism, I would have asked her. I would have been put on some of the stuff that I did throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? I would have just said, just for the hell of it. Right. Because she's an excellent writer, bro. She was an excellent writer. Cats were calling her like female Grand Verb, you know what I'm saying? The way that she was.
What happened to Lynn Q? I mean, you said
Lynn is doing film now. She's doing film now. She's
like behind
big,
the camera. Behind the camera.
Yes.
Dope.
Yes, and doing well too. Award-winning shit, all kind of thing, man. So, you know, she retired from the spit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so she did that, and Mother Rage retired as well from music. I mean, because you know the game's not attractive, you know, for certain writers, bro. It's like a waste of time sometimes when you look at what's on the waves and you think like you want to write something and throw it in the mud of the foolishness that's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, and not to diss all music. There is some good music out here, and I'm not blaming the generation. I'm really blaming the program directors for not balancing the shit. I don't expect you to be playing my shit from 90, but if I made some shit in 2010, respect it. If I made some shit now, respect it. If you not dropped a new single, respect it if it's dope. And give us room to get some program time. If that requires, I know it's airtime. So if you got 5 different companies that buy up 24 hours and you don't even give an option to intelligent music to play, you've naturally boxed us out. You know, because how can I ask you for anything that you've already given to 5 different production companies that talk the same shit? That doesn't make sense.
Thank you, Jose Gonzalez. I appreciate you.
Yay, family. Yay, family.
So Lord Jamar's interview with Brother Jay is protected by the red, the black, and the green with a key. Sissy. So let me ask you. So, not let me ask you, but let me tell you that part of why I hit you right this week, what made you, because I've been thinking about hitting you for a while, but you know what made me hit you this week? Is when my brother Stud Doogie passed away.
Yes, sir.
And I said, you know who would be able to relate to that? Brother Jay.
Yeah.
Because you've had multiple brothers from your crew.
Yes.
Who've passed away.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother.
Professor X. You know, Sugar Shaft, the architect.
The architect's still living. He's sick right now. Okay. Yeah, he's still. But yeah, about 2 brothers.
The architect, is that Paradise or no?
Yeah, that's Paradise Gray.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how he roll his thing now. But yeah, the architect still living, but the brothers passed, and Shaft passed in the middle of us doing Dark Sun Riders.
Right.
I wasn't even gonna finish that project. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And that's why it got stiff to me, because I didn't want to produce anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I just wanted to take a real serious break. It was one thing from breaking the clan up, but then to put this production team together, try to start something new, technology wise, and then our brother, evaporate, like that, man, my lord, that shit hurt me. I've been with Shaft since Bertram days. You know what I'm saying? He used to be up at my school, like he went there. I think he went to Laughlin or something. I forgot what school he went to, but he never was there. You know what I'm saying? My school was like, when we out on the court, it's a party. You know what I'm saying? So he been with me all them years, and then to lose him after we did so much success with the clan and everything, man, that shattered my whole shit, God body. You know what I'm saying? And then years later, I hadn't spoken to PX in a long time. We had broke up, and I went back to New York with Dominic Morales, a film dude. We was playing ball in Hollywood, and we started talking some shit, and we did like a let's go see the brothers type of thing. And I went to see PX, and then shortly after that, he passed. You know what I'm saying? I wanted him to come and see what I was doing out here in the West in California, man. I was really, trying to open up some different doors. We had such a strong following, globally and whatnot, but our funk kind of opened a different, portal and respect in the West. I didn't move out there for that. But, I was learning it more. I was learning what that effect was from their side of things rather than me being in New York. You know what I'm saying? Because people in New York respect us for more than music. They knew what we stood for. They knew where they saw us and who they saw us standing with. So, the West is not witness to that. So we have to put some of that development and stuff in the West. And I wanted him to be a part of that, to the neighborhoods that we touched when we came out here early as a group. Now going back and seeing how to develop some artists and, what can we bring to the city that will add on, different events that will raise money, all of that kind of thing. And he passed away, man. That shit fucked me up. Losing Sonny Carson, that kind of leadership and the kind of connection that he was, those things, it was hard to rebuild without those elements, bro. You know what I'm saying? But, just like with your mans, you got to feel like whatever his energy was, you got a piece of it, and you continue to put that in your podcast and your music. And that's what keeps, the energy fresh and not to be depressing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be like, oh man, I missed a homie. Cause you're going to think to call him. You're going to be like, yo, this beat is dope. Let me call homie right quick. And you're going to fuck yourself up. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to remember, keep the flavor of how they believed in you. You know what I'm saying? Shaft was my biggest cheerleader in this thing, from when niggas didn't know me to when the world was on us. You know what I'm saying? So I always maintain the dignity of being dope. When I go out here and say, yo, man, for what it is, if Shaft head wasn't bopping, it wouldn't even leave the basement. So whatever, homie shit was, follow that craft, follow that energy, bro. Less tears and more energy, man.
Right. Can you do me a favor? Just back up a little bit. Your head was starting to get cut off a little bit.
Oh, my bad. I started leaving the shit. My bad, Lord.
So we got a question from Mandarin 2099. He said, peace, Jamar, brother Jay. Curious about the mind state and creative process when Exodus was being made. That album is fire. Thank you, Mandarin 2099.
Man, Exodus, man, was a salute to the elders that we spoke about earlier when I first came to meet with Sonny Carson. And basically every symbol on there represented different houses of thought that were in that circle. And it was going to be a lot sacred geometry type of conversation on those projects. But again, that's not something that is necessarily an elder conversation, and that's something that I learned, in my travels. You don't have to say a lot of words to elders in order to let them know that you know. Right. You feel me? So I was caught in that time frame with Exodus, because when you look at the cover, the album should have been deeper to me. I learned at that time that, when you get that fame, everybody's not in the lab at the same time anymore. Now you just dropping your verses and telling them, yo, whenever he gets here, just tell him to fill in here and I'll catch up. Everybody's out of state, got shorties in different states and all kind of different things and shit now. So Exodus suffered from that to me. And that's why it was a lot of freestyle songs on there. Songs I wasn't even writing. I was just coming off my head. I didn't even respect the production time that I put into East Blackwoods when I did that project, So, I certain songs I felt, because To the East was the first time I sat with PX to write a lyric. We were on the road and coming back, I think from Tennessee or something. And I was just showing him different things. I was creating the monster, so to speak. But when cats were trying to make him look like Flavor Flav, I didn't want that, because Flav is the greatest hype man. That's what he does. That's what his shit is. PX is not my hype man. Okay. So I said, yo, let's write something to kind of bring you out of just writing the little spoken word thing, because I wrote the spoken word because he doesn't have good rhythm and pocket for MC shit.
Right.
So Exodus was the first time that it was like, yo, come on, let's just go ahead and try this. So I tried it on Cosmic Art and Fire and Earth, and I just left it again. The music thing is not going to matter. I'm not going to sit there and be like, do it again. It's not MC Pocket. It's not supposed to be. You got your own personality with the folks now. It is what it is. You feel me? And things like that make the album mediocre to me. You know what I'm saying? I felt Exodus could have had a lot more fire to it. You know what I'm saying? If I really sat down and focused, I would have cut off like probably 2 or 3 of those songs and fortified that shit as like a real follow-up classic, But they'll get it. I mean, I just made a deal to do my catalog in the director's cut. So they getting ready to get whatever their favorite was in a whole different tempo, man. I've been out in the West for a minute, dog. Production is different now. I guarantee that.
Sidewalk Publishing, thank you. They said, what about beef with Third Base? Y'all had beef with Third Base?
I don't have a beef with Third Base.
Well, did y'all have beef with Third Base back then? Nah,
bro. I mean, again, these are rap groups. We're a movement. There's not too much to conversate with at the end of the day.
These are rap groups. We a movement. This is totally.
Yeah, man. I is no beef. What is the beef about? My thing was, I just hate how people springboard off rap, and we're contesting to be the best, and some people get in, off of a privilege or off of just, yo, I was around, just put it on. If the guard was busting like how Eminem busts now, or like some of the more talented artists that are out now, then I would have been like, yo, I see where. But when we get raped, like how Vanilla Ice comes out or some shit, and it's like the #1 dude in the world. Why? Because you look like Max Headroom and you super clean, dog. I ain't never seen you go through the dudes that I've been through in this game. You know what I'm saying? So I was on, as being in the music as a messenger for my movement, I'm still in the game. And I'm saying, like, dog, that's like could be somebody ill right there, man. Let's stop all this springboard and just bring, artists that got a proper theme. I never fuck with Beastie Boys. I never fuck with any of these other dudes that was cracking, but that Third Base shit, it was just goofy to me. And it wasn't a beef to them. It just was like, yo, man, turn it up. In the realm of hip hop, turn it up. You know what I'm saying? Not just as you being white or versus this or whatever, man. Like, you turn your shit up, man. and anybody in the game should be that. You know what I'm saying? If there's a potential with an artist, you should always be like, yo, man, step your shit up, man. If you're shooting the ball, nigga, hold your wrist up a little higher, do your shit. It should always be. It should always be like our body.
Pooh
You know what
Bah
I'm
told
saying?
me to tell you say peace. Actually, I forgot to tell you earlier.
Who that? Who that?
Pooh Bah.
Oh man, give thanks, man. Big up to Pooh Bah, man, and big up to Sadat too, man. I'll be watching his page, man. He be traveling all over Russia, all kind of shit, man.
Yeah, they actually shut his IG down and shit. So
oh shit!
he ain't even
Yeah,
got his IG right now.
that's crazy.
What was I gonna say? So yeah, I didn't really know when I was talking to you earlier. You said you out in Cali, and you just mentioned a little while ago. I didn't know you was out in Cali. You said 20 years now. How
Yeah,
long, what made you just move out to Cali like that?
I just got to. I've been there, done that in the city, my lord. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to do something different. I wanted to challenge myself. You know what I'm saying? And then I also wanted to step my production up to another level, bro. You know, I was telling my brother the other day, part of the reason I came out here because Dre was destroying us production wise. You know what I'm saying? When I put my shit on, it sounded like, you know, a transistor radio compared to what kind of mixing and shit they was doing and the kind of, you know, and the composition, you know, that they was doing on their shit. So I wanted to learn that, you know, and I wanted to be in the land of that, man. You know, anybody know me in Cali, I went from, you know, Project Blow to doing 30 city tours with, you know, ICP and all kinds of crazy shit out here. I've been through a whole different journey and chapter. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, my journey out here really capped my knowledge, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have the movement on my back while I was doing the music this time, but the movement is in my rhythm. You know, the movement is in anything that I produce. So I didn't need to have 30 members on stage doing drill team steps or anything to impress the music of X-Clan. You know what I'm saying? So that was a challenge to me to come out to Cali and just slowly do that. You know what I'm saying? And then also to get in touch with my man, you know, my manhood. I left music alone for the first 3 years out here. You know, I went and got a construction gig, bro, and enjoyed being honey, I'm home, you know, for, you know, a couple of years because no tours. You know how it is as an artist, bro. You get tired of that, sleeping in them damn coffin bunks on the tour bus and living out your bag, dog, and all of that bullshit, man. I really felt like, you know, when am I gonna get time to just enjoy my manhood and, you know, learn how to raise a family instead of watch your family grow up in the phone and shit, man. You know, that shit gets weak. You know what I'm saying? That shit gets weak, dog. So I really came in touch with that out here, man. And I really learned desert power staying in LA. You know, I really learned what it is. I didn't want to learn Hollywood power. You know, I wanted to learn, you know, how Ice Cube come out with a record is gold tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You know how Kendrick come out, you know, first couple of years, you done destroyed 10 years of artist work and you the number one in an instant. You know, how does that happen? You know, is your state that big and y'all so down for each other that, you know, the music works like that, you know, and I came to get my answers. You know, I learned of the underground out here. That's very powerful. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of shows with a lot of different underground legends out here, you know, and I didn't wear my ego on my sleeve like I'm above this or above that. Yo, I'm a special guest. Let me come in and spit my shit. And I ain't got to spit grand verb or funky lesson in this. I can bust, my nigga. Let me just get up here, get my little 15 minutes, and I'll show you what it is. And you know, that love became getting signed to a brand and doing bigger tours. I did the Damian Marley tour, the Jurassic 5 last tour. I did a gang of shit. And this is work that I wouldn't have done if I was following the urban cookie sheet. You feel me? Fact. You know, you're going to tour with this one and you can only go with Dead Prez and you can only go with, you know, Talib and you can only do this. you know, we in the game, bro. You never know who you was touring with. You know, I'm touring with Ghetto Boys
I
and
was
DJ
gonna
Quick.
say Ghetto Boys was one of the first ones. Like you
You know what I'm saying?
all the
You know,
time.
we didn't tour. That car, them cars used to be so mixed up, my brother. But it was
Yep.
just everybody's expression. There was no set tripping. There was no East Coast, West Coast, whatever. It was like, that's how you kicking yours. This is my flavor. They
Yep.
love it. Let's go give the show. There was no beef. That's why I said I don't have no beef with Third Base. My thing was, as an artist, dogs, you know, step your fire up, man. Don't be the goofy dude, man. You come from Latin Quarter days, man. Destroy these niggas. You know
Shout
what I'm
out
saying?
to Sidewalk Publishing once again for their donation. He says, how important was Ralph McDaniels and Video Music Box to the movement?
Oh, Ralph McDaniels? Please. I just stated that on the page. I saw that he's doing a documentary with Nas. He's getting behind Ralph's story, and salute to Nas for that.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, with Ralph McDaniels, man, shit. You know, without him, nobody would have gave us a chance. You know what I'm saying? You know, we were on a nice label. You know, Island Records will get you the MTV look. They'll give you your little cookie sheet appearance on these shows and whatnot. But for somebody to really nurture your group, you know, he was making our videos and then rotating us, you know, so people got that knowledge. You know, when we didn't even have music, we would have little 15, 45 seconds segments and shit doing the protection, the red, black, and green, and we have our little movement. Our movement was young then. You know what I'm saying? It was a small little clique that we had. But Ralph always gave us a window to talk our piece. And you know, I love that dude, man. He got us over to Jamaica and all kind of different places. We went to sit with the Maroon Tribe and all kinds of different shit with Ralph, man. It was, you know, he made it fun for us where people looked at us like aliens and shit, you know, because folks loved us, and it wasn't because, you know, we was in our armor and shit, man, because our music was fucking them up. You know, our music was hitting them in the head. And he believed in us, dog. So salute to Ralph McDaniels, dog, you know, all day long. And Video Music Box, that whole classic concept team from that time frame, man. And rest in peace, Handsome, who was one of the crew members there. He was one of the good brothers, man, no doubt.
This is one of the, you know, oh man, I don't even like to really, I have to.
Yes.
So recently there's a sister that was making some allegations against the brothers, saying she was being, you know, assaulted or something at a young age and all of that. I forget the sister's name and all of that, but would you like to speak on that? And
I have absolutely no problem, man, because you know, I told her, the architect the other day, he was talking to this about me, about this to me. And you know, I said, you know, it's so deep that how people are ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? You know, they came to our movement to try to rap and just be in the mix and whatnot, and you know, and just come back later on with some wild shenanigans. You're gonna tell radio TMZ, fake TMZ shit or something that you in a world famous studio in some kind of line, a gangbang line with me and my elders and my soldiers. Come on, bro. You got to be tripping out, man. Our movement is not built like that, you know. And when that shit was done like that to clickbait, you know, what's his name's Star's cousin called me, Brother Supernova called me, because you know he know that we are no nonsense situation. He said, yo, man, my cousin started blasting some crazy shit on his station, man. Some fucking some girl came talking about some allegations or whatever. Now, when it came to me, God, the girl contacted my Instagram, trying to talk about doing a book about PX doing cocaine. All right. And this had came up before in the movement before, because there was another member that was trying to do this that was in house. And I said, you know, like, what is the cocaine? What is the thing with this cocaine? Like, you feel like cocaine ruined our movement? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no one man make our movement. I'm not gonna let you shit on my brother like that, because there were many thieves in my circle. You understand what I'm saying? So this thing wasn't started from, Patrice Griffin. She was coached from the gate by someone inside my circle to write a book about my brother. And they asked me to be a bitch ass nigga, because if I put into the book, then that's the stamp that you need. You know what I'm saying? We brothers. So if I get in with some dumb shit like that, like, yeah, man, because of him, we could have been rich, or, what am I going to say in this book that's going to be so significant? And why would I want to make money off my brother's death?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On some dumb shit. So now when that story wasn't big enough, now all of a sudden you become some kind of 14-year-old victim, molested and raped. First you start emailing my family. Now my daughter had threatened this girl, because you come hit my family talking about some dumb shit on some Instagram shit or whatever. You start hitting people in my shit. Now my people fuck with me, Godbody. They're not gonna let nobody come up here, some stranger coming out the blue trying to put some story up or whatever case may be, and not be ready to retaliate. So I start getting threats to them, because they don't understand none of this Shot 97 or any of this little gossip talk and clickbait, and they don't know none of this shit. All they know is somebody just said Sonny Carson is standing in a world famous studio with several Black Watch members giving head at the lab, dog. Now, what studio are you going to, bro, where traffic, like Quad Studio or something like that, and we got a fucking line in the fucking lab, dog? That shit that's not how my shit function. But they connected to the BAM thing, and they connected to the Bombada and all of this, and they try to mix it and say, well, all of you conscious niggas are like, the church
was really full of shit.
Yeah, really. And I thought that was insulting off the gate, bro. I'm looking at it like, why y'all all of a sudden so bold to come pick at the movement? The movement don't get down like that. We don't bring kids in the program and be trying to fuck them behind the curtain or whatever. And bro, I was a young man at this time, as far as the years that she's talking about, in a very small circle. Patrice Griffin was not part of our circle in no fucking 88. And for her to say that the architect wasn't there and you trying to pull people out, you know what I'm saying? You kind of showing who kind of fed you, you know what I'm saying? Because you weren't around to understand PX and a drug problem. Somebody who was there had to break down to you what that problem was. So I say that, to people like my brother architect who were there, like when you voicing your problems with people, some people pick up on your shit and start to create all kind of opportunities around that knowledge. You can't be talking grown man shit in front of dumbass fucking kids. You know what I'm saying? That girl was disrespectful. PX took her back after she came and blamed one of our soldiers to raping her back then. Okay? And the brother never touched her. This was a new recruit out of Detroit. Okay? Who came over to New York and stayed in our office. This is 92. Okay? 91, 92. This is after Exodus. She said that the dude raped her and the elders beat his ass. Okay? The elders got into this because she called rape. They didn't even ask the brother what really happened. When the dude got over, they shipped him over to us. We were in Columbus, Ohio. They shipped him over to us. And the brothers commenced to whooping his ass again. And I said, yo, man, you got to stop because we don't even know what happened. Okay? So you start a relationship with this young man doing outrageous shit in our office. Okay? When he came and approached him, now this man was a virgin. Okay? When this man left Columbus, Ohio, and came back with us to this thing after he told us that it wasn't a rape situation, that's my girl. and she didn't want to do something, and then she said, yo, I don't want to do that anymore. You call rape. So you done got this man ass whooped twice. Come back to the circle, bro. She's crying. This dude is lumped up and fucked up. Oh, that didn't happen. I just didn't want to do it in that fashion. So what happened? She gets ousted. The sisters disciplined her, and she got ousted. PX takes her back.
Wait, hang on.
Whatever.
Y'all was whooping ass up in the X class.
Bro.
Yo, and wait, hang on. The brother got his ass whooped. Let me just get this clear real quick. He got his ass whooped because this is, you know, it's a little funny. He got his ass whooped by the elders. They shipped him, elder. One elder whooped
elders. It was the S.
Right. The elders whooped his ass. Then they shipped him out to where y'all was at. They put him on a plane or whatever. They put him on a plane, or how they ship him out?
They put him in the minivan.
They put him in a minivan.
In the fucking minivan. They drove him to Columbus, Ohio. Hours drive.
Or they sent him with somebody else. They actually
one of our road managers took him in some old minivan, box van, Astro van.
Right, an Astro van. And homeboy willingly is doing all of this. Like,
what choice did he's in this shit like Fight Club. He's trying to get into the movement.
Right.
I'm just being I'm being 1000 with you right now.
I'm trying to make people understand how like he was willingly, he got his ass whooped. He, you know, and took his ass whooping, got in an Astro van, drove hundreds of miles, knowing that he might get his ass whooped again. He did once he got there, got his ass whooped again.
Yeah, because he's our responsibility. He's not. Look, man, PX opened these doors for this blackwash thing like it was some kind of fucking orphanage or something, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you're not sifting out who is a groupie and who is a soldier at this point. Okay? Just because they show up at the show and they put on their little red, black, and green like it's trick or treat, dog, does not mean they be to be around us. That dude should not have been in our fucking circle at this time. Okay? Because whatever he heard on the album and shit is not what the fuck goes on here. That's why it's like, oh shit, I got my ass whooped today. That's right. Because when the sister called rape, dog, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck wouldn't we do? We're not gonna be like, oh, let's analyze or whatever. No, man, that's an instant ass whooping. Old men beat on that dude before they could even ask, before they could even say, yo, man, what really happened here? Okay? So this is back then. Why would we have that kind of discipline and then we be beating this girl down in the lab on a gangbang line with the same fucking elders that sought to defend her? Why the fuck would we do that, bro? That makes absolutely no fucking sense. Okay? That makes absolutely no sense. Then you time warp to make it look clickbait like, oh my God, them too. Because you start hearing all of this. Oh, Bambaataa was dealing with such and such, and this and this. Look, man, Bam is not part of my movement. Bam is a fucking DJ from the Bronx who does his thing and contributed to hip hop. All right? He ain't no movement leader to me on no fucking level. You got a nice little hip hop thing that you do that brought the gangs of the Bronx together. That's what you are. Don't connect me to some pedophile shit that happened that's being exposed later, and then everybody in the fucking circle know. I don't know Bam like that, dog. Okay? I don't know Bam. That's not my generation. I don't know that y'all motherfuckers are bumping into this shit and, oh, that's just let Bam be Bam. I don't know all of this. I don't know none of this. Again, I'm younger than my brothers. All right? So when I see somebody trying to attach me to that, I don't know York like that. Y'all telling me York with all of these power and all of this shit that he got to go fuck kids? I don't think that man would have to fuck no kids, bro. Straight up and down. I don't know him like that. So now that when you start looking at it all the way around the board, you want to start pot-shotting at people who put the faceplate of consciousness or whatever case may be, whatever they define in their world with people who wear the ankh and this and that. They sound like, you know, some people at the burn them at the stake type shit. Y'all sound like some fucking Salem witch shit. You know, look, man, we're in a serious movement, bruh. I don't have no movement that would tolerate somebody standing in the studio getting banged, their head banged back on some dumb shit. It's stupid to even draw that kind of conclusion. My problem with them was, don't smear the name of my elder and my family for what the fuck we meant to the people dropping our shit. That was sincere on everything. There was never no fucking girl in no studio bending on her knees, blowing down my motherfucking crew and my elder. That shit sounds stupid as fuck to me. I don't even want to hear no shit like that. That's why I call directly. I'm not going to no fucking 100. I'm not going to no fucking Rolling Stone or no Fox News or none of that stupid shit. I went to the nigga that said it, bro. I said, give me the same time you put that buffoonery on the table, man, because that shit don't even make sense. That shit doesn't even make sense. You even time-wise, you lying like a motherfucker. You stupid. We didn't have no bread in '88 to be going up in no fucking lab like it was. We didn't even have no fucking bread. Our music ain't dropped till 89, 90. You talking about you in the lab with us at 88. And we doing this and everything is popping. You did that because the radio station program, like, you got to pull it back some more. You couldn't be a hot tail ass girl in the lab trying to fuck the recruits at 17, 18. We need you to be 14. That's what that shit sound like to me. Don't put me in that kind of shit. I don't play none of that, bro. I have a whole different view of what they consider to be normal and all of that shit. All that shit is whack to me. All that shit is whack to me. They play too much games with that. That shit with Bambaataa hurts. And for them to be putting that shit to find out that somebody that you trust like that was doing that kind of shit, they didn't even give us time to fucking digest the shit and be like, damn, one of the uncles is really fucking up in here, man. God damn it. I never would have thought him. That we didn't even have time to process that pain. You know what I'm saying? It was instant, like, yo, man, cut him off, pedophile, just shut it off completely and just push it out the fucking door. We got a erase ban for the annals or whatever the fuck it is. That hurts, man. That hurts. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. And it's fucked up that he did not come back and talk to us directly. Why the fuck you go to Rolling Stone? Why the fuck you go to Fox News? You telling niggas don't fuck with Fox News. How the fuck you go to Fox News? That don't even make sense. You go back to the motherfucker that said it. You go back to the face of these motherfuckers that's talking that shit if you feel that shit didn't happen.
Right.
That was bullshit. But just to answer your question on what it was never no fucking girl in our Black Watch office, any studio or whatever the fuck that stupid ass story was about, banging, giving head to my soldiers and my elder on no fucking cheese line in no fucking lap, bro. Ain't no way in the
underage.
That's some stupid shit. That shit's stupid as fuck.
Yeah,
But, you know.
I remember, there used to be a lot of sisters involved with Black Watch back then. I remember.
Yeah.
I would.
And how would it look for them to be there? How does it look for them? Do you think our sisters would be walking by some shit like, okay, well, she's just giving head to whoever the fuck? Yo, bro, we weren't built like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We have men and women elders, man, who will cut your hand off, bro. You see how fast they whooped that boy's ass when she just stated the false shit from the gate. Now, you think we could be in some studio doing that shit and my fucking elders are going to tolerate that?
And this is before the Me Too movement, god damn it. They was leaving the sisters off top.
Yeah, real shit, family. Real shit. And that's why I say, yo, man, we have to start talking to our brothers, man.
Even when they could be lying.
Correct, man. Talk to them. You got to talk to them as well. The same way you jump up and defend and be Prince Valiant and all that other shit, you got to examine all sides, my dog, when it's a serious situation like that. And I'm so sad that they fucking touched on that boy like that and whooped his ass, but it was crazy as fuck. You know, somebody fucking yelling, we on tour, dog, and the elders, yo, man, one of these kids you left here coming from wherever it was in the office, you know what I'm saying? Because they have responsibilities in the office. You know, we didn't have internet. This is fan mail and phone shit, phone calls coming in and all kind of crazy shit. going on. This ain't internet, email, everybody set up at a laptop, shit or whatever. Hey, dog, you want to be down? There's responsibilities. You want to pick up that phone? You want to take out some trash? PX try to make this shit like Fight Club, dog. I bullshit you not. And that's not how we came in this. Okay? That's not how we came in this. All that shit that sister would have been screamed from the gate. She wouldn't even got that far to be in our presence, dog. And you're gonna talk about your mom's dropped you off at the office and all this other shit that I was listening to. I couldn't even believe this. Your mom dropped you off at the office and they never came back to pick you up, and you going through all this shit. And this is an open door. This is New York downtown. You can walk out at any time you feel slighted. Yet you stood there for how many years to make it sound so victim and shit? Come on, man. Don't do that shit. Don't spit on my people and don't spit on my brother's grave. I told them when they came to me with that cocaine shit, you know what I'm saying? I said that shit is weak. And I said that shit wouldn't last because this society is on more shit worse than cocaine right now, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? They probably took that shit as a joke, like, yo, you're going to have to get deeper than that. You're going to have to make a scenario. You know what I'm saying? That's not what's happening, bro. Don't do that with my people. Don't play with my brother's death at all. Fuck all of them on 100, bro.
So you have a documentary coming out, yes?
Yes, sir. Tell
me about the documentary.
Right now, we're developing something that a working title called Crossroad Traveler. And it goes through the 30 years of X-Clan, the different sides of community service, music, some of the things that we're talking about, the principle of just, catching up with yourself, catching up with your knowledge of self. You know, people think that once you attain it, you don't have to go back and check on it. And I want to show through different aspects of where that was checked, and anybody that can relate with that and help heal their situation. I think it'll be an inspirational story. It kind of goes behind the grid of the lights and the camera and the bullshit, and kind of gives, some of the things that we spoke about, the elders. I could speak about them in detail. I even have some of them on film before they passed away. So, it was always a battle with this documentary, bro, because the labels I was with, they wanted more music. They wanted to hear Ice Cube say, yo, I was listening to X-Clan and such. But I may have an elder that did something powerful and significant in Brooklyn that inspired me to write some shit, that a song that people celebrate. And I think they should have equal time. It shouldn't be me clickbaiting with the celebrity side of, what X-Clan could bring in some of the grassroots people that help inspire what's happening. But, when you're dealing with music brands, bro, you know what it is. They want the most, they want you to mention people that have other audience that would peep in. Eminem wearing an African medallion in Detroit, talking about it in Rolling Stone is more important than, the elders that help protect Brooklyn, that, that used to, do vigilante moves on rapists and thievery and shit in Brooklyn, man. There's things that are not always spoken about when it comes to how they had to protect our neighborhoods. We have to be harder than all elements. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Because if you challenging the powers that be, we can't be afraid of our own people, dog. So, the documentary goes into, some of the elements that kind of, show where that hardness and that confidence of X-Clan came from, that unapologetic thing that you spoke of, when we started this conversation. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. There's a reason we say freedom or death,
Is it true that you were a monster rebounder in basketball?
Yeah, man.
That's what just put up. They said you was a monster. Where
man. Hey, my father was taking me down south as a youth, man. I was pulling farm animals.
Y'all know that Brother Jay was a monster rebounder in basketball? My guy. Much.
Yeah, I had ups, man. I had ups in school, man. I played ball, above the rim. So yeah, that's truth, my lord. That's truth, man.
Well, yo, man,
shit.
this has been a great fucking conversation, man.
Yeah, I appreciate the time and the space, man. You know,
Yes,
I appreciate it.
absolutely. Right back
And
at you, bro.
yeah, and
Um,
I hated to get so emotional about that question about that shit, but you know, I'm learning so much about this internet society nowadays, man. It's like, you know, if you don't have a hard shell, man, and truth with you, brother, you know, don't get in this game. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta be honorable and you gotta be durable in this game, man. And that's what I offer to my people, man. I tell them sincerely, don't feed into that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Take what the clan said, freedom or death. Get out here. If you don't like our music, like freedom and like being, you know, like being 100, you know, go and take that from us and go conquer the world. This is not a popularity contest at all.
I was
You know
gonna ask you too. I was listening to some X Clan earlier, getting ready for this interview. Is it still freedom or death?
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. It has to be because people want our death before they give us, you know, before they offer freedom. Look, I'm not asking for permission for
Right.
freedom. You know what I'm saying? The people that think they supposed to be giving it to us, you know, I say, yo, you over assume yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's something that has to be taken. That's why I say, yo, man, you have to have that attitude, freedom or death. I'm not going for what you give me. You know what I'm saying? This is an information age. Now all the foolishness is before me. Why would I keep falling for the tricks? You know, so it is freedom or death, brother. Yes, indeed. Without question.
I concur that it is freedom or death. And freedom ain't free.
Yes, sir. There is sacrifice involved. There's sacrifice of the bullshit and a lot of things, you know, when it comes to this commitment, you know what I'm saying, to something. Find something that has your frequency. Find somewhere that you can train and uplift your mind and deprogram yourself. Deeper than just reading a new book. You gotta deprogram yourself as the only way that you're gonna achieve freedom in this day and stage.
And there's many levels to that. It's like a fucking onion. Don't think just because you deprogrammed one thing that it's all that, oh, you're good now. Oh no, trust me, there's gonna be a lot of other shit that needs to be deprogrammed. They fucking been doing this shit since you were a fucking baby, programming you with bullshit. Things that
That's right.
assigned and just filed away and just thought, oh, that's a done deal. Like, I know what that is. Nope. You better go back and look at that shit too, because this motherfucker lies about everything. Peace to the God. Kareem Allah, he said, peace to the gods. I used to rock with Baba Sonny Carson, and he was also a family friend. I was actually in the education of Sonny Carson, formerly Jolly Stomper. Peace, God.
Wow.
The former Jolly Stomper. Yeah, peace, God.
Wow. Yes, sir. Peace to the God. Wow. The Jolly Stompers and the Tomahawks, man. Original.
That's an older God right there. If you say a Jolly Stomper, right?
Yeah, bro. Hey, that's why I say, man, our shit goes back deep, bro. You can't be saying wild shit about our family that's not factual, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had to stop a lot of shit when they was kicking that, man. People like that get offended. Like, how you talk about somebody that's a family friend and somebody that stood up in the streets out here. We were standing up against, you know, fucked up cops and the fucked up system out here. Front line physically, where we could have died for our borough, for our people, bro. For our nation. And you gonna go call this man out on some false shit to get some fucking viewers? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Shout out to that Rikers. He said, shout out, brother Jay. Met him on Ocean Avenue, and he spoke like we were boys. Exodus still my top 5 records. Thank you,
man. That's blessed. Give thanks, man. Give thanks, brother. I'm always good to my people, man.
Well, yeah, my brother, man. This was an excellent joint. Definitely want to have you back in the future just to talk about, you know, just shit that's just going on in the world type of shit. You know what I mean? This was the This was the one where we bring you in and, you know, you talk about, you know, your history and all that type of shit. But I think you have a lot more to offer, you know, when we talk about other subjects as well, that I think that if we were to bring you back, that you'd have, you know, a valuable contribution to the conversation. So, you know,
Thank you.
I hope you'll join us in the future for other conversations when we need, you know, because we the elders now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we,
yes, sir.
It's the trend, it's the changing of the guard, and now we the elders. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
We the ones that's gonna whoop somebody ass if you fucking tell us that this little motherfucker raped somebody in the movement. We're gonna be the ones doing it.
What the fuck? Exactly. What the fuck you think we supposed to do? Like, yo,
Like
dog,
we
check this
supposed to
out.
do.
It don't go like that. It
Little
don't go like that. That's
motherfucker,
instant.
get
Ain't
the
no
fuck outta
conversation, but there has to be reasoning. You know what I'm saying? And the reasoning was, let's slow this all down. We all know that we here to defend everyone, man, woman, and seed. But yo, man, what's the true build? You know what I'm saying? Let the brother speak as well. You just can't take shit. People crazy, man. People be tripping, bro. Just for attention and shit, bro. You gotta, I don't know, man. But I don't get into it, my lord. Like I said, it doesn't ruffle my feather. I'm just disappointed, you know, that someone would do that and strike at people that are gone. You know, you're not even letting people be here to defend themselves and be able to speak. You know what I'm saying? You want to call out people and shit for all kind of drugs and all kind of shit. Yo, he had an issue. We addressed it as a family to get that brother off dope, man. How many people do that? People just really just cut the member off and just say, fuck you, we don't need you no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We took time with Lumumba, dog. You know what I'm saying? We took time to heal him. How dare they try to spit on my brother, man? Fuck them with that.
Right.
100.
Facts.
Yes.
Well, once again, my brother, thank you for coming through. Anything else you want to shout out, or I know what you brother Jay on X Clan?
Yeah, bro J X Clan. And they can join me at X Clan
worldwide.
Yeah,
well,
I'm building that page up right now. So we getting ready to drop our project and stuff. So, you know, we want to be like the first of the year, probably. I want to do something for Kwanzaa and shit, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to be ready by that time. So I'd say a good early 2022. Okay. So X Clan Worldwide, let them join us there, and they can get updates and catch up to what's going on.
That's what's up.
Yeah, fam.
All right, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Jay, X Clan. Thank you, my brother.
Blessings, man.
Peace.
Much respect, man. Success. Blessings.
Yes, sir. Love to you. All right, y'all. Another great one is in the can. I want to thank everybody who was in the chat tonight. Thank you to all my super chatters. Thank you to all my Patreon members. Remember, if you can't wait and you need to see these interviews right away, because we do take them down off YouTube right after this so that we could chop them up and do what the fuck we do. But if you want to see this full interview in its entirety, it will be up on Patreon after this. So yeah, go ahead and join the Patreon, man. Become a subscriber of the Patreon. We got Rappers with Rifles going on this coming Saturday, and basically, man, if you haven't signed up now, you probably missed out on a chance. But I know we got some last minute motherfuckers. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing Saturday. We in the Poconos doing what the fuck we do. If you didn't like when you came in here, make sure you click the like button before you leave. Make sure you click you subscribe, click the notification bell, click all, so you'll get notifications whenever we drop something new. I'm about to be out. I appreciate y'all coming through for another one. That was very enlightening. Shout out once again to my brother Jay, the Grand Verbalizer. I am Lord Jamar for the Godcast. Peace.